All right. Well, I'm gonna start talking because usually, like, we have that awkward moment where it's like no talking.
Talking.
Yeah. So whatever face it gets, that's what it gets, right? Doesn't matter. No mercy, like Lori Ladd. No mercy. All right. Hi, everybody. Welcome to Quantum Healing with Tina and Karen. I'm Karen. Tina's over there. She's gonna set it up. I'm gonna start hosting our show today. For today's show, episode 400 subscribers, baby. Big milestone for us because we wanted to talk about fears, especially that Tina and I share. We share a lot of, similar fears about, for example, talking publicly. So I don't know if you guys noticed it, but I think if you have been following us from the beginning, you've seen how much we've kind of evolved in the public speaking aspect. I feel it's a little less awkward. I think in the beginning, for me, like it wasn't a matter of who I was speaking to because I know that I'm talking to a computer. But I think it was more like my nerves about like me and Tina feeling each other through it and having to get used to talking in front of each other too, you know? So yeah, we've come a long way. We've reached 400 subscribers, so we really wanted to celebrate that and say thank you to everybody. So yes, again, comment and like, subscribe, please, if you haven't already. Come join our team and our tribe and our family. We're really happy to have you here and to be part of our ever-growing community of awesomeness. Obviously, you can see I'm not really used to hosting, but I am improvising. Thought I'd put that out there if you hadn't noticed already. See, getting over the fears. You have to do it and keep talking like, no one's watching. So, as you can see, I got a new background. My parents came on the weekend. I was really happy that they came to visit. And we're having like some extreme, again, lockdowns here with curfews and whatnot. So still dealing with that. Borders are still closed. Nothing has changed really in my side of the world. I am hoping that everything is going to eventually roll out. I don't know what the timelines are because like I'm experiencing different timelines all the time. So it's like rise up and do this and then make changes by the people standing up, or are we waiting for things that are happening in the background so that everything, the entire thing can crumble down and we get back to our normal lives? I don't think it's going to happen that way, honestly. It would be nice. But I think there has to be a balance between both where people are going to start standing up and, things crumbling that way eventually. I don't know what else. Hi, Tina.
Hi.
We
welcome everyone.
Yeah. And how was everybody's Valentine's Day? Everybody.
Is anyone here?
I don't know. Too? Actually, I didn't even open it up. That's us. No.
No, I don't. Well, I don't think it is us because I don't think it counts me. I don't know. But if anyone's here, hello and welcome. Yeah. So, yeah. So, wow, 400 subscribers, 400 connections made, 400 people that have felt like we've brought something valuable enough to their lives that they've clicked on the subscribe button to see us again.
I know.
That's really exciting, and I feel really honored that 400 people find something valuable in what we have to say and share. So I'm really grateful for that. I'm really grateful to each and every person, each and every connection we've made. We've met some just amazing people. We love when you guys show up with us and hang out in the chat and we get to know you a little bit. That's why we like to do these lives, so we can connect with you, you know, like in real time.
Yeah.
And yeah, like Karen mentioned, like it's been a progression for us in finding our voice and pushing past the fear, because there is a lot of fear when it comes to putting yourself out into the public eye, especially for really sensitive people like us. And especially for the feminine as well. We kind of touched on this the other day in our group chat, which was really lovely. We connected with a group of women, and yeah, we were kind of discussing how this divine feminine energy, I was thinking about it too, like before we logged on, how that divine feminine energy that came through this time last year really was a huge activation for us and for everyone.
Yeah.
In assisting, in clearing and facing and clearing out. So it's like that energy came in and pushed up to the surface everything that needed to be cleared out, so that we could step more fully into who we are, into our deepest and truest self, to be more authentic, to like finding that authentic voice and understanding more about how we fit into this shift, like this huge shift that's happening, and like how we fit into that, and what are our roles in that. Yeah, and also it's a very empowering energy too, that's like, you know, coming through each of us to help us find our voice and speak our truth, because that's what the world needs more than anything, is for people who aren't afraid, or I won't say that aren't afraid, because to some extent we all have these fears of being judged and ridiculed and persecuted for stepping into our truth, for speaking truth, because it goes against the grain. It goes against everything that we've been programmed to believe about ourselves and the world that we live in. So there is fear there, of course. Just, you know, the fear from this lifetime and the programming and conditioning that we've experienced. But also, like, on top of that is all the past lives we've lived where we've been persecuted for, you know, being a witch, or being a healer in whatever form that was. And then there's all the ancestral wounds that we carry from our mothers and our grandmothers, and the general suppression of the feminine voice. So yeah, there can be a lot of fear there. What we've noticed in connecting over the past 2 years, year and a half, with other women who have come for sessions, is that this is a huge piece that people are healing now, are these past lives where they've been persecuted for being who they are, and or they've been leaders and then, with good intentions, led people in the wrong direction and caused destruction. So there's all of that guilt and shame and mistrust or distrust in their connection with spirit, right? Because they, with their good intentions, they made a mistake. They may have led a whole civilization into destruction, you know, and people died as a result. So they are carrying with them still those huge feelings. I mean, they feel really huge when you're in them, of the shame from causing that level of destruction.
Mm-hmm.
Whew. And like walking them through finding that forgiveness for self and seeing the bigger picture, because like many of us, the thoughts that we hear are, well, who are you? Who are you to be speaking about this? Who are you to be connecting with spirit? Like, nobody wants to listen to you. Why would anybody want to listen to you? Right? Like, all of these thoughts that we have, they're connected to these lives where these things have happened. And yes, we can clear a lot of that in a BQH session, and we have. But I think, you know, the healing happens on the everyday level where we can push past that fear and do it anyway, right? Like, it's not like that fear is going to just dissipate overnight, but it's having the courage and the strength to keep showing up and doing it anyway, like despite the fear. I mean, because I remember when I made my first video, I mean, my heart was literally pounding out of my chest. I could barely, like, my mouth was so dry. You have a physical reaction.
Yes.
And, you know, feeling like your armpits and palms sweating. I still have that video up, and there's a lot of views on that. And, you know, there's a part of me that's like, oh my God, I have to take that down. It's so horrible. But then there's the other part of me that's like, no, that's like my higher self is like, no, that's where you were at the time, and it's authentic and it's what it is, right? So yeah, that's been a little bit of my experience, and just like pushing past that fear, even just now, you know, still feeling that little bit of fear before coming on live and pressing that button and showing up. And but
I'm used to it. I think because I'm used to it with you. I'm used to whoever comes in, and I don't see them, you know. It was different when we were there on the weekend and we were with 20 women. And I was like, no, Karen, it's your turn to introduce yourself. And I was like, oh God. I was like, oh. Like I felt myself immediately as that little child that had to go in front of the class to do a presentation and not been prepared or worried that I was going to mess up or my project wasn't good enough or something like that. Because I have shown up and my project was not good enough. Or I criticized it, you know, by the teacher in front of everybody. It's all out of body. So yeah, I do feel that kind of like thing, that insecurity, that child self that's just, yeah, sweating. The heat is just all the way up. Like I feel it in my head and I'm shaking. I feel myself, like physically shaking, like scared to death. But then it's like when I was able to call myself out, I found like just putting it out there, like, okay, I'm awkward. Like, I just want to say that right now in case, like, cause I know you're feeling it. Like,
I love when you do that. I love when you do that. I love it. Because it really does it takes the energy away from having to feel like you have to be something that you're not, you know, like yeah. I wish I would remember to do that. I always forget to do that, just say like, I'm so anxious and awkward. Like, I wish I could remember to say that, but I love when you do it because it really takes the charge. It takes the charge away almost instantly.
Right. And that's what like our friend Liv was saying, you know, like we're not beings or people that are perfect. And, you know, like in the love and light community where we're trying to be like these meditator yoga people like that go to Bali. Like, no, I'm not like that. I go to Clayton. Like, I live in a basement apartment. Like, I'm not trying to be something like, you know? So it's like, yeah, when I do those things, I just got this background, okay, because it was just like, you know, I want to like join the group. But I just want to like, you know, make myself feel, you know, more like I'm trying to present myself in a way that I'm falling like into a place where I'm more comfortable. I mean, not to say that I don't have a problem like performing in my office, which is my bedroom, with a dark background. If you see me in the dark background, I'm in bed. So, but like just something like doing something for myself, in our business and being a little more presentable. But yeah, but it doesn't mean like just because I have a nice background doesn't mean that I'm not awkward anymore. I'm very awkward. So it's just I have a nice background. So to distract you from my awkwardness. Like now, I'm getting really hot now. But that's what I mean. Like it's just like I don't want people to think like, not that I'm like trying to be something. Like Tina and I are never trying to be something that we're not. But it's just like I don't like, like when we watch people who are always on YouTube and they're teaching, like we have already an idea about them that we're assuming about them, that they are something more, that they've done all this work. I think it surprised people, some of our clients, that I'm still doing trauma work sometimes. Like I'm still healing myself. You're never really fully healed, but I mean, like you're still like pushing stuff out. This is like the infinite space within us, right? There's always that infinite shadow too. So it's like going more deeper and deeper. I mean, if the collective is not yet healed, then that means that I'm not yet healed either. So I'm just doing my work. I'm doing my part. We're all doing our part. So no one is perfect. And, we're all human.
Right.
We all trip, like what we're saying, we all trip, we all fall, we make mistakes. We get called out. We don't like it. That's just the ego. Like, it's just what it is. It's not, I mean, like how well can you carry yourself after the fact?
Yeah. Like the
Are you
picking
still
yourself.
kind? Yeah.
Picking yourself back up again. Of course we're going to make mistakes. Like we are flawed.
So flawed.
Being human is to be flawed because we carry both light and dark within ourselves, right? And we're always trying to like bring that into balance, and not denying either side of ourselves, but really trying to bring that into balance and always finding that forgiveness for self, after making mistakes, especially, I am a highly flawed human. I've done some really shitty things in my life, been through some really hard things. And I will never be, preaching from the pulpit, so to speak, because I understand how deeply difficult it can be to be human.
Yeah, I'm only learning to be human now.
And I don't wonder why so many people struggle, why so many people have mental illness or chronic illness or physical illness. I wonder why there are seemingly, healthy people that function quite well in society, because the amount of mind control that we've been under and the amount of manipulation that we've experienced, that we are experiencing on Earth right now, is just like so far beyond. And waking up to that, because we're always, no one knows everything, right? We're in this like constant awakening. Like there is no, in my opinion, like enlightenment. But it's just like a constant level of awakening. We're always awakening to new things within our own selves, within the world around us. And it's just awakening more and more and more. And finding your voice, finding your truth. And for me, authenticity is really, really important. And what before we started YouTube or did any of this, what I looked for in others that I connected with, say on YouTube or social media platforms, wasn't a perfect facade, a perfect lighting and perfect background and perfect presentation.
You get new lighting though, too. So go ahead.
Perfect presentation. It was who can be real, like who is authentic.
Who could be courageously authentic.
Yeah. And speak their truth without apology, or just being like real and raw and authentic. Like those are the people that I connect with the most. And so that's what I find most important, and that's what I value the most when I'm looking to connect with another person. So I thought to myself, okay, well, how hard can it be to be your own authentic self and stand in your truth? And it can be quite difficult.
Okay, yeah.
It can be quite difficult.
Well, yeah, this is like going back to our old conversation about like when we were together for the holidays and how we were being very human. And I was at that place where we were detoxing, and I'm like, am I going to show her my poop? Like, do I want to do that? Yes, I did. But you know what I mean? Like, it's just like, do you want to go there? Like, because again, we're hiding parts of ourselves that everybody does. I mean, we all poop, right? And pretending like, oh, I don't. Mine's nice and pretty. Like, I don't. Yeah. But yeah. Anyway, go ahead. Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, it's just we're all the same. We're all the same.
Right. So it can be difficult to push past the thought patterns and beliefs that we have about ourselves and what we're supposed to be, right? Because the world tells us how we're supposed to be. And you can get caught up in that stream of consciousness. And until you start to break it down, like really break it down, I find that I'm day by day becoming more and more of my deepest and truest self. It's just like an unraveling. It's always an unraveling.
Yeah, always.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, it's just that I'm doing a ton of like your programs and limiting beliefs, and that was something I was writing today to my kids. I email them once in a while, like the version of themselves that are going to read it, like when they're older. I think I'm going to give it to them when they're in their teens, and I'm chronicling my life now and kind of giving a bit of a background in my life so that they understand who I am. I don't know. So yeah, I was talking about that too, like how we carry so many like limiting beliefs, and we're programmed to act a certain way because it comes from, a trauma response usually, So I was talking about being codependent and why I became codependent, and I had to give a little bit of a background about like my root cause of like the abandonment and stuff like that, and having to act a certain way for me to get love, because I always felt like if I wasn't doing something like being a good girl, then I'm not going to receive love. So they'll take it away from me. And because that was my love language and I really wanted it, yeah, I performed all the time to get what I needed to survive. So I don't know what my point was. I guess, beliefs and stuff. And trying to be authentic. So, I mean, like deprogramming yourself is really a big thing, because it's like, who are you? Can you let go of the idea that you do not have to perform anymore to receive? Like, are you okay with that? That was hard for me, because it was just like, I got a nice gal here, and I felt like I had to try a little harder. No, but like, again, a program that's running like on like a fight or flight type thing, because it is like an old wound that's always like being pressed. You get something good in your life, you want to keep it. And so it's like, you got to keep a little bit of a mask on, because it's just like, if you see who I really am, and well, what she did anyway with the mask on, right? So you can't hide, but it's just like you're trying really hard to just keep yourself, being something that you're not. Being confident. Like I said, I was really confident. And you're going to be exposed anyway. There's just so much of that you can be. It's exhausting. And it's like, who are you? Like, if you're brave enough to ask yourself, who are you? Do you really like those things? Is this really who you are? And I think even though I said I was very confident, and I really wasn't, I think who I really am is confident. It's just that I didn't step into it yet, you know? So it's like a false sense of confidence, that costume that you wear, like Wonder Woman costume. But then when you really take it all off and expose like your true self, it's just like, yeah, and I'm going to own it. And that's confidence. And awkwardly confident.
Yeah. Well, yeah, and that false sense of self, the masks that we wear are so exhausting.
Oh,
so
God, yeah.
exhausting. Oh my God. I lived so long like that, like trying to keep up, you know, with what we think we're supposed to be, with who we think we're supposed to be, who the world tells us that we need to be, to play this role. It just felt so awful for me. And I struggled so much with it because it was so empty. It was so meaningless. It was just like, what is this all about? You know? And so I just sunk deeper and deeper into depression and covering up my pain with pharmaceuticals and just running from it, because no one teaches us how to deal with it. No one teaches us how to feel. That feeling actually is okay. That feeling actually is the solution to getting through what's actually happening in our lives. You know, it's just this, you just wear this mask, you do these things, and you're, you know, that's what they tell you happiness is. And it's not until you start to wake up from that dream spell and realize that it's all a facade, none of it is real. And
but isn't that like sorry, I don't mean to cut you off, but isn't that like a relief? Like at the end of it, like when you're just like, oh my God, I don't have to be this.
Yeah.
Like, and then discover who you are. I know that could be really scary at first, because it's like, who am I? Because you're reteaching everybody who you are. I think that was a really fun part for me, because like I saw very quickly who I wasn't like meshing with anymore. Like my friends who I thought were my friends, no, nothing in common. There was nothing. And it was just like when I was like with the, you know, the sister wives and those people, like with my ex-husband and all their friends and the wives and stuff, I was like, you know, in the beginning, like, okay, I think I could fit here. Like I could be that wife where I serve my man. God, it sounds so dumb. Like, but people want to be that because that's what looks amazing, like on TV or whatever.
Yeah, like a desperate housewife. That's what they tell you is happiness. That's what they tell you is happiness.
Yeah. And like you were saying, I would be like, but is this it? I would sit late at night. I will wake up in the middle of the night while I would feed my baby. And I would be like, is this it? Is this fucking it? This can't be it. I remember like really like, this cannot be it. I'm not going to do this again tomorrow. This can't be it. It's like Groundhog Day until you get out and create a life that you want. And then, you know, and discover yourself, figure out what that is.
Yeah. And also I find a big part of that is believing in a higher power, that there's something bigger than us, you know, at play here. And it's not just, you know, meat suits on a ball of rock, you know, flying through space. Like there's a bigger consciousness here.
Meat suits. That's all. It's so gross. Sorry, go ahead.
But yeah, and it can be really exciting to start to discover who you are too, but it's also can be extremely difficult for people because you have to give up so many things, you know, like maybe your job that you hate, your relationship that is toxic and abusive and codependent, you know, your friends who are toxic to you, you know, whatever it is in your reality, those things can be both very difficult and also extremely liberating, right? Because when you break up with those things, you align more so with who you truly are, with your own authenticity and who you're here to be. So yeah, the process of awakening and finding your voice and realizing your truth can be both. It can be both. It can be everything like extremely liberating for the soul, but also very difficult for the ego to have to do these things, to align with,
right.
to align with your higher self. Because what I realized too is that I've always had this voice in my head that was trying to lead me in the right direction if I would only listen to it.
Oh my God. I used to have conversations by myself while I would walk in the hallway. I look like those crazy people who talk. I'm talking to myself and I'm like, why did you do that? And I'm like, I don't know why I did that.
I remember you used to record some of your conversations for me. And yeah, so perfect. That's exactly how it goes.
I did that? Oh,
yeah.
God.
Yeah. The conversation between the higher self and ego, because there's always both of those voices at play. We're always in connection with our higher self. We just don't realize it.
God.
Yeah. Those were really wild. But what happens over time is when you start to integrate the ego, that voice becomes less in the forefront. Yeah. It quiets down a lot. Like I rarely hear my ego anymore.
But I know when it's there. I love when it shows up though, because it's just like, okay, buddy, like we're going to be all right. And then it's like, yeah, okay. I go, let's work it out together. And it wants to. I feel it like it might immediately come in and like peace, like it just settles into its like little blanket inside. It's like, okay, lead the way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And yeah, I think it's just like about recognizing which voice is leading you, and understanding that the higher self is never going to be judgmental, but it can ask you to do really hard things. Like leave the job that you hate, or, leave this relationship that you've known or been in for 20 years and you have children and all of these things, right?
Yeah, it really makes you decide some really hard things. But again, old programs, like that's part of the programming, the deprogramming of your life. It comes with actions. It comes with having to do the hard things in your physical world and hurting other people, But
right.
again,
But again, the ego thinks that you're hurting other people, but you're also liberating them to continue on their journey. When you're not a vibrational match anymore, and sometimes you have to be, as the person who's more awakened in the situation, you have to be the one to make that difficult decision for everyone involved, because otherwise you're just going down this path where everyone is miserable, and nobody is learning anything. And when you finally make that, because the other part of that is like believing that we can save people, if we just love them enough, we can save them. And
right. I think that was the hardest thing too, because even like when we split and went our separate ways, I held on to that guilt and feeling that responsibility for them even after it was over, still feeling that responsibility, guilt, like tons of guilt. And then after that, it stops. It does stop because like I was looking back and I was like, oh yeah, I don't feel guilty anymore. I was like, oh, moved on. Great.
Yeah. It's difficult breaking up with these codependent relationships, having to be the one to do that, to make the decision that's in the highest good of everyone, even if it doesn't seem so at the time, but it allows them to also be liberated from this relationship that they don't even know or understand, that is suppressing their soul, basically. And to allow them to go on to find what makes them happy, to find themselves, to make connections that are in their resonance, their own vibrational resonance. Because when it's not a match anymore, there's very little you can do to salvage that connection. And there's a lot of people in those kind of relationships right now. you know, where one is awakened and the other one isn't. And it's extremely difficult to navigate.
Right. I mean, you can accept it for so long. I remember I had that too. I woke up and I was just like, finally, I was like, great. Go, I can actually make something of this relationship because I can change. I have the power to change. Nope, not the message. But I had to learn the hard way for me to, I think I had to give it a chance in that way, in a new set of eyes for me to realize that no, that's not the purpose of it.
Mm-hmm.
So, and unless your partner does have a chance at waking up, but even at that, even if they do, it doesn't mean it's gonna work. You might actually realize the same thing, like, okay, we're not supposed to be together. If this, like, we've already reached that karmic like end and contract. I learned my lesson. Bye-bye now.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah. Yeah. But I mean, some people do make it work, you know, like if they have a mutual respect and love for each other, they can make it work. So it's all individual. Yeah. Do you want to pull some cards? Okay.
Yeah, go ahead. I don't have any chat thing here. This happened last time too.
You don't have a chat? Who's here? Anyone here that we know?
I can't chat,
Say
so I don't know.
Hi.
You have a chat?
It's not coming. Yeah. It's not
No, this happened to me last time. Phone or on the. It says this action is not allowed. I can't chat, so I don't know.
Maybe if you close it and reopen it.
Done it already many times. Refresh and.
Oh, that's lovely. Saraswati, the goddess of goddess of self-knowledge.
Saraswati.
Exactly what we were talking about. The essence of who I am flows effortlessly into everything I create. I think it's really important too for people like us who are awakened to speak out and share our truths with the world, especially right now. And when I see it like kind of like drowning out all the noise out there, you know, and bringing some levity and authenticity and truth to a world that's so lost right now. Oh, and Dakini, the enlightened feminine.
Dakini.
She's beautiful.
She looks like my aunt.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. This is the Divine Feminine deck. Divine Feminine Oracle by Megan Watterson. I love this deck. Yeah, so again, utilizing that feminine energy, that insight, that intuition, that gut knowing, we're moving more into that energy now as we connect with our spirit, the spiritual side of us, our divinity again, because humans have forgotten their divinity. So it's really calling us, this shift is calling us to connect with the feminine, with that spirituality, with our divinity again. And Dakini says, my gut instinct is wise beyond reason. I trust my intuition to guide me. Yeah, so knowing thyself, like we were talking about, like knowing who we are is like really the most important thing we're here to do. It's just knowing who we are, discovering that. And there's always deeper and deeper levels of that, of who we are. And like, you know, when we explore our own consciousness within, say, a BQH session, you know, there's always, always more to uncover about who we are and where we've been, and what is contained in our own cellular memory, and uncovering that and connecting with that again and those higher aspects of ourselves. Yeah. Trusting. That's another thing too, is like the feminine not trusting her intuition, or his intuition, because when we talk about feminine, it's not necessarily woman. It's like, you know, we both have the feminine and masculine energies within us, men too. So men need to, especially men, need to connect more with their intuition, because it's especially suppressed within men, right? Yeah, not trusting in that energy, but allowing your heart and your gut instinct to guide you. And like this says, it goes beyond reason, it goes beyond logic, it goes beyond the left side of the brain, the logical mind, right? Because, you know, in our society, it's like reason and logic is so much more valued than intuition and gut instinct and heart. But it's coming more now into this place where many people are waking up to what's really important, and that the heart is the most important way to lead with your heart and mind in balance. So
oh yeah, that was a big struggle in my marriage. I just knew things, and he's like, how do you know? I'm like, I just know. Watch. And then it would come true. And it's like, see, but never acknowledge, you know?
Yeah, what also happens too in those toxic relationships is that you'll share something like that with your partner, and they'll be like, you know, how do you know that, or whatever, and they'll suppress that, and so you stop trusting yourself, you stop trusting in your knowing,
Yeah.
to the point where you can't, you know, and then there's like gaslighting involved, so you don't even trust your reality anymore. And then you at some point wake up within that, and I have to take your power back, and taking your power back means you start to trust yourself again, and you say, no, I know this is my reality, I know this is my truth. And taking your power back in that way, to say it doesn't matter what you say, like, I know who I am, I know what my truth is, and no one's going to convince me otherwise. You know, nothing outside of me can convince me otherwise. So yeah, that's really important. Okay, does anyone want a reading? Anyone want me to pull a card?
You go start with me.
So the other cards I pulled, which is very in line with what we're talking about, is Shekinah, the presence of the divine feminine. At the center of everything there is light, and I am that light. And I am my own guru. I know the self that never changes, and the self that never changes is the higher self. Yeah.
That's beautiful.
Okay. Do you want to pick a number? 1, 2, 3, 12. 1 to 12.
Let's go to 12. Oh, good.
You like this deck?
Yeah.
Whoops. Okay, let's see. What does Karen need today?
I wish I could help with the chat, but I don't see anything.
No one's chatting.
Oh, come on, people. Don't be shy. Or I'm gonna pick all the cards. You know, like should do readings for Karen all night.
Tell me when to stop.
Nah.
Now?
Now.
Oh. All right, tell me when to stop again.
Now.
All right, we'll do 2 or 3. Let's do 3. Tell me when to stop again.
Okay.
Interesting. Dolphin energy keeps coming up. Play.
Play. Yeah, I know. I got that today from my son.
Tell us about that.
Well, I woke up crabby. Didn't sleep last night because Tina and I were like watching. We binge watched The Sinner for Valentine's. It was our Valentine's date, so we watched 8 episodes straight and went to bed at about like 4:30, 5 o'clock in the morning. And my alarm went off at 7. So I had to get the kids ready for school. And I was crabby. And my son comes to see me in the kitchen and he's like, well, guess what, Mom? I didn't bring my snow pants for the weekend. Do you want to know why? And I'm like, why? And he's like, because when we're with you, we don't do anything. And I'm like, okay. I go, thanks. Thank you so much for bringing that to my attention. You make me feel so good about myself. And then he was just like, he's like, I'm sorry, Mom, but it's true. I'm like, it's okay. Like, I get it. Thank you. Like, I know I'm not fun. I'm not boring, Mom. I am. Like, I like to stay home. But I am a homebody. Like, that's a real thing. I know where it comes from. So, yay for me. It stems from childhood when my parents used to drag us everywhere all the time, all around the clock. And I hated going wherever they had to go. I wanted to stay home all the time. That's where it comes from. So I'm a homebody. My ex-husband loves to do stuff. Takes them skating, goes tobogganing, whatever, like does fun stuff with them. I'm not that mom. Like I'm not, and I'm not gonna try to be one. Like it just doesn't excite me and it actually gives me anxiety. Perhaps one day I will get over that and try to do something with them, but I really don't like the winter cold. Like it's freezing and it literally I feel it in my bones and I don't like that feeling even as much. I mean, Tina, for one present that she gave me, key to my heart, she got me long johns. Like that tells you a lot about myself, okay? Like I love long johns because it keeps me warm in the winter, but I don't like winter stuff. That's just I'll go outside, you know, like as long as I have an exit point, like really fast exit point where I could come back inside, fine. Like I'll play out in the snow with the kids in the front, but yeah.
Well, the dolphins are calling you to go out and play.
Okay, well, I'll go to the front yard. But all that to say, yes, I have things like, but like I said, my ex-husband really likes to take them out. I like to stay home. I want them to learn both. You can have the option. You can actually choose, I don't want to do anything today, and that's okay too. And you know what? I want to go out, and that's okay too. It's just to know that you don't have to do things to feel like you're productive or that you had a full weekend full of like excitement. Like for me, excitement is it being in bed. Like that excites me. I don't know about everyone else. That's just me though. So I'm trying to, I don't know if it's a good thing. I know I need to get out and play. Okay, dolphins, fine. Go on the front side. Get my...
You can tap into the dolphin energy and ask them to help you find that playfulness.
Well, I keep hearing the sounds that they make. That's not it. Okay, go ahead.
You can also, okay, so the dolphin is an ally for those who have a tendency to isolate.
Oh, got it. I hear ya.
Dolphins are incredibly social creatures and are often seen playing in their pods. In addition to that, they are empathetic and have not only been documented helping fellow injured dolphins, but they will do the same for humans or whales. Call upon the dolphin as an ally if you struggle connecting with others or relaxing in a social environment. There you go.
You have trouble relaxing? I have no problem relaxing.
Bustamite. Well, you said it causes you anxiety to think about playing, so yeah.
Oh, like when I go out, like outside of my environment. Yes, okay, fine. Fair.
Yeah. Bustamite is helpful in connecting to our playful and creative energy, specifically within physical pleasure. Bustamite stimulates our connection to the earth and our physical body, as well as assists in removing any shame we may have around play and pleasure. As children, we are fully in our senses and experience the world fully embodied. As we grow older, most of us are conditioned to believe that pleasure can be dangerous, or at the very least, that playing can get you in trouble. Call upon Bustamite to remove any limiting patterns as well as stimulating play within your body.
Okay.
Yeah.
I need to get out more. Right? Is that what it means? Like, I feel bad,
You
you
can
know?
play. You can play inside too. I mean, you can make a fort or paint or draw or
Okay, we do that.
make a collage
We do that.
or do science projects.
I'm not sure about the science, but I mean, we do things like in the house. It's just because it's winter.
I know
Winter is hard.
it's
Like
so
for me,
hard.
it's really
Yeah.
hard. It's really hard. So I don't know if I need to get over myself and just go do it once in a while. I think I need to do that. Maybe a little
Yeah.
balance in myself to do that. Fine. I'll admit that. But like all the time, no. Sometimes it's just so freaking cold.
Listen, I know I have a
Cold.
dog to walk, so I have to go outside every single day, no matter if I like it or not. And I often find that as
He
hard
doesn't
as it
even like to go
is,
out when it's
he
cold
loves
like that.
it.
When it's
No,
cold
he
like that?
does. Yeah.
Oh.
He didn't used to, but he likes it now. And he wants to run around the whole neighborhood. So, as much as it's hard for me to do, and like I just want to take him out front to pee and come back in, I know it's what makes him happy. And so I sacrifice my own um, self, my own selfishness to do that for him because I know it makes him happy.
I know you're
And
not
he's
saying that I'm selfish, but that's what it sounds like.
that's not what I'm saying at all. Of course
No.
not.
You're like, I'm just talking about myself and not sacrificing my own selfishness. I'm like,
Yeah. And I often find that there's always a reason why we go for the walks we go. Like there's always some kind of something that is speaking to me. Like when we do go for long walks. And we don't do it every day since it's been so cold. It's been snowing and freezing rain like every day. So, you know, every few days or something, we'll go for a long walk. And I always find that, like, I like to follow Coco. It's just like following the kids and seeing where they're going to lead you because there's always some kind of magic that you're going to find. I'm not
yeah.
saying, yeah.
Mm-hmm. No, our winters here are really difficult. Really, really difficult.
I know. It's hard.
Yeah, I don't have snow pants.
Okay, so the second card is release.
Is that a frog?
It's a frog.
Okay.
How cute is that? And it looks like a palm tree, but I don't know if it actually is. Yeah. Let's see what release says. Earth energy. Releasing is a lot easier said than done. In fact, we spend a whole lifetime trying to break free from our limiting beliefs or painful experiences. Sometimes we have an idea of where we want to go, so we compartmentalize and repress the things we believe are holding us back. But we still want to honor ourselves and our experiences. We just want to give ourselves new options of behavior so we are not stuck within the same old pattern. Spend a moment reflecting. What is no longer serving you? What is old, stale, and taking up space within you? What would you do if these things didn't take up so much of your energy? What other behaviors and beliefs do you wish you possessed? Um, so the frog is a potent ally of releasing and repurposing. Sometimes we approach our perceived flaws as things to eliminate, but the frog teaches us that we can use that which no longer serves us as fuel for the new. Every week, the frog not only sheds its skin, but it eats it.
Okay, cool.
Nothing goes to waste. All things within us have a purpose as long as we can expand our minds to see it. How can you transmute what no longer serves you? How can you release, but also do it purposefully? And how can it serve you in a new way? So I think that's a crystal? Epidote? I've never heard of that. But it says it's an amplifier. I don't know what that is. But it says part of epidote magic is being helpful in finding the root of something. So not only does it amplify, but it is also a guide at getting to the core issue. In that way, it is helpful at every stage of the process. So call upon it when you need support in meeting the practical and psychological side of releasing. And the third card is Ascension. So it's like angel wings.
Angel wings.
Getting your angel wings. Yeah. It's ether. So connecting with the ether. Ascension. This card is a testament to all of the work you have done. It is a nod from the universe that your efforts are seen and are being rewarded. Things are moving forward and you will continue to progress and reach a higher state of consciousness as well as earthly success. This card can be encouraging you to deepen your spiritual practices and work toward alignment with the highest codes of your being. Life is all about moving and reaching our true potential, and you are well on your way. Keep going. So that's nice.
Keep going.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh, I got a message from my friend Robin. She would like a card.
Okay. Did she pick a number?
Hold on, let me ask her. Robin, could you pick a number 1 to 12? Just text it to me.
Anyone else want a card? Oh, your chat works now?
Yeah, but she just said she didn't know how to chat.
Is she in the app?
Maybe. I don't know.
You can click
Live chat.
yeah, click on the live chat.
Click on live chat and then 11.
11. Oh, the divine feminine again. So this deck you picked. I'm going to turn my light off for a second because I'm having another hot flash. And I'm Robin. What does Robin need?
Yeah, everyone, if you're on the YouTube, click on live chat button and you'll see the chat. Hey, JD. JD says,
here?
yeah, he says, every single thing you guys have been talking about, I just had a conversation with another girl.
Oh, I love that. Awesome. Okay. So Robin, we pulled Kuan Yin, the goddess of compassion. I recognize suffering in order to release it. Curiosity breeds compassion. Isn't she beautiful?
I love Kuan Yin. Kuan, our girl Kuan.
Our girl Kuan. Yeah. So yeah, it feels like she's calling you to be compassionate with yourself, self-compassion, compassionate for others, recognizing your own suffering where you are suffering in your life and releasing yourself from that. And there's also the beautiful cherry blossoms and the butterfly. So this symbol of transformation, and recognizing what do you need to release in your life to come more fully into your truest expression of authenticity, and being curious about that, being curious about who you are, about knowing the self, right? And always coming into not being hard on the self, but just curious, like about what you're going to find when you start looking within and finding that compassion, you know, even for the darkest parts of ourselves. So she's coming to you with this compassion and lending you this compassion that you can then lend to yourself, because oftentimes we find it really super easy to be compassionate to other people, but very difficult to find compassion for ourselves. So
Yeah.
more self-compassion.
Yes, and the people who we resist in life, where we find like we're judging them or things like that, those are the people we need to find compassion for, because those are parts of ourselves that we are rejecting too. So it's kind of like a mirror thing. It is hard. Like I always say this, I go, it's really hard sometimes to have compassion for people. It really is. But again, I mean, if we all look at it as we are one, you're rejecting something about yourself.
Right. When you're rejecting that in another and finding it difficult to find compassion for them, it's because you're rejecting a piece of yourself, because we're all reflections of each other. So I pulled 2 cards for you, and the second card I pulled was Lalita, the red goddess.
Oh, look at her.
Yeah, she's hot. And so Lalita is all about, again, playfulness and using playfulness as a spiritual power, and understanding how laughter leads me back to the light, right? And laughter really is such a big, huge expression of the heart, and just really allowing yourself to feel that, you know, especially when times are so heavy. They can feel so heavy right now. So it's calling you to connect more like with your inner child and that playfulness. And this is the second time it's come up. So it's really speaking to all of us.
Right. But her and I, we were talking about how cold it is, because she lives in Canada, out in Ontario. I was telling her, I was like, what are you doing next weekend? She's like, I don't know. I was like, she's like, why? I'm like, in case I need to run away, like, do you want to come with me? Like, let's go. Like, I just want to leave. Like, yeah, I don't know. We're in a prison here, everybody. Help us.
Well, that's a great idea. You guys can meet up and do something fun.
Yes. I don't know what there is because everything's fucking closed.
And again, the energy of the butterfly, transformation. So maybe you're going through some kind of transformation in your life or getting ready to bust through that cocoon. And come out as the beautiful butterfly. Also, the lotus, the symbol of the lotus. So, rising up out of the mud, and having that transformative power of the lotus and the butterfly.
She did talk about that too recently, about flower coming through. Because I told her, I go, your Instagram name is Lotus Rising. So yeah, it is her. So see, full circle, Robin.
That's really cool. Yeah, and she has her bow and arrow. But it doesn't feel like she's using it like to avenge or protect. It feels like she's just using it for play and doing what calls to her soul. So doing more of what brings you laughter and fun and feels good to you. I think, and again, it's back to that, like, we often feel guilty for feeling good or for having pleasurable things, feeling pleasurable things. So releasing that guilt and allowing ourselves to feel pleasure, to have fun, to laugh in the middle of all that's happening in the world, still expressing that from the heart space, that laughter. I find that so important. And that's something I love about our relationship, is that we can, laugh together about everything that's happening in the world.
Everything.
Yeah. But yeah.
I'm feeling Oracle of E.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then a Rebel card.
Of course.
Why not? And then it's Valentine's, so a Rumi card.
Oh, yeah. That's a good idea.
Okay, so E, Rebel, no. E, Rebel, Rumi.
E, Rebel, Rumi. Jay, are you still here? Do you want a card?
Yeah, pick one for JD.
Tell me when to stop.
Oh.
No?
Yeah.
GPS.
Oh, good. Where are we going?
There you go. Go on your road trip. So again, this is pointing us back inward to using our own intuition and trusting our gut feelings. We all have this internal guidance system that the world has pretty much tried to program out of us, right? But if we connect with, up until we're 7 years old, we are in a constant state of trance, in a constant state of hypnosis. So everything that's happening in the world around us, we are literally just absorbing like a sponge. And that is part, and we're navigating the world using our feeling, our knowing, our instincts. That's how we're functioning in the world. And so after the age of 7, we start to lose that. We start to lose touch with that. And we stop trusting ourselves, and we stop trusting the world around us. We stop trusting our instincts and our intuition, and that the the more feminine and sensitive part of us, it kind of gets pushed to the back or pushed to the side, and we start trusting more in logic and reason. So again, it's calling us back to this divine feminine energy, and back to our own guidance systems, and listening to that voice in your head, your higher self, because it's always there, and it's there now more than ever before. It's there. And like, people are connecting in sessions and dropping in right away, where before it would take super long inductions for people to drop into that state of mind, into the theta brainwave state. Now they're just dropping right in and connecting right with their higher selves. So that is so available right now, and so important for everyone to really utilize that energy, utilize that voice, that inner knowing. Yeah. Let me see what the book says, because they're always fun. 15. OMG. Your intuition is being a real show off these days. It's so ready to help navigate your life. And quite frankly, it's getting a tad bit impatient. It just can't understand why, when it knows the fun, easy route, that you insist on doing everything without its help. There's no need to be lost ever, especially now that you're about to stumble onto a gold mine. Mine, not mind. Gold mine. Yeah.
And a gold mine.
Yeah. Okay. So, Rebel?
Yeah. I got the chills.
Oh, I would like to pull up. Okay. Sorry for all the noise.
Is everyone having issues commenting? I see there are several people watching.
Nobody feels like chatting tonight, I guess.
It was like that last time too. But I was also having issues like login, like the chat wasn't working for me. It took like a while for it to load.
Oh, maybe it's not working for them.
Maybe.
All right, tell me when to stop.
2, 3. 1, 2, 3, go. More play? Oh, her.
Yeah.
Defend to the end, the worthwhile. 23.
Yeah. Owl energy, and tapping into that wisdom. Again, trusting our instincts, because that's how the owl operates, off of instinct, right? And defending to the end, the worthwhile. So again, it's like it's the sacred rebel energy. It's the truth seeker. It's the person who is going to defend the rights of humanity and what we find valuable. No, I didn't turn the comments off, but I don't know why. I think that's a YouTube issue.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Defending the sacred, right? Defending what we find as valuable, and that's really our inherent humanity, right? And waking up and finding, and she's crying because she's crying for the state of affairs that we're in right now, because it's so sad what's happening in the world, but it's also like releasing the sacred rebel within her and defending what is valuable to humanity, and knowing that the heart is our key to living an authentic life. Again, it comes back to the heart. and the foundation of truth within the heart. Yeah. And knowing that just one person can make a difference anyway, because it's like, you know, we think that we're only one person. Like, what can we possibly change, right? But even just by doing our own inner work, by going within, that's how we're healing the collective, because the ripple effect of that goes, you know, throughout the universe, not even just the Earth collective, but throughout the universe. That ripple is felt when each of us releases like one more thing and lets go of one more thing and heals one more thing. Like that is contributing to the healing of the whole. And also, again, coming back to finding your voice and what are you willing to speak out about? What are you willing to defend? And how important is it to you? How important is truth? How important is it to...
I think truth is very important for a lot of people, but it's finding that courage to be able to, again, you can know all the theory all you want, but then to use it in a setting where it matters. So like standing up to the cops, knowing and speaking your rights. That's the scary part. I feel that's where we're in a wave of where we need to go. Leveling up on our theory and putting it into practice.
Yeah. Right. Like how important is it, you know? Yeah. Well, yeah, again, it's like having to push past that fear. Finding the courage to push past that fear. Yeah.
Right, and that goes back to finding our voice.
360.
360. All right, let's go for a romance card.
Romance.
Roomy card.
I feel like our roomie deck is like dusty. We never
pick it anymore.
This was our first deck. We had so much fun with this deck.
Yeah. I know, it brings me back to like when we just started.
Like pulling, and we would just be like so shocked, like how on point the messages were.
I know. Everything was on point. JD wants another card. JD, what number between 1 and 12?
Of course you can, Jay.
And didn't come out?
You didn't say stop.
I did.
I didn't hear you.
Oh, you had like 2 cards in your hand. Try again. Oh, okay.
Oh,
if it's meant to be, it'll come back.
I put them back. All right, tell me when.
They're meant to be. Now.
Ooh. 23. Star Mother Arrakis.
Oh, we never had that one. Oh, another 23. That's 2 in a row.
Yeah. That's very interesting.
JD wants 11. He wants Divine Feminine. I thought so.
No, that one's different now because I shuffled.
Oh, you moved it all? Okay.
Yeah. 11 is the black deck. Okay. Let's see what Rumi says. No, Rumi.
We never picked that card, right? I don't recall that card.
I think we have, because
Yeah?
Yeah.
It's been a while.
Rumi says, be the king who has made his own kingdom. Be the moon that has made her own summit. How much longer will you cuckoo like a pigeon? Empty your head of all mortal lusts and become life without breath. You will not call out for God anymore, for you have become immersed in God. It says your star mother Arrakis dances with your soul on the celestial inner planes. She dances in the embrace of Father Sky, shining white and pale, deep in devotion to the light behind all that is. Arrakis, dancing star of the heavens, incites our souls to feel the rhythm of life and surrender in its flow, in grace, in stumbling, and in play. Again.
Play again.
Like a child who thinks not of the right steps, but just moves with the music and with joy. She reminds you to dance freely and from your heart. She reminds you that your soul is constantly dancing with the divine. What better way to connect with the joy and beauty of your soul than to mimic its movements? So dance, beloved. Let your being dance. Oh, Arrakis, your bright beauty penetrates even the darkest of minds to remember, remember, remember. She calls out. Her voice is music to our hearts. You are a child of heaven. You are born of such regal stuff, dear dancing child of the stars. When you suffer, I send you my comfort, as stars falling from the sky. When you triumph, my dance becomes wild, and light erupts from my heart in all directions. The light becomes music, stirring within you with an urge, almost inexplicable and yet so very deep and real. To make music, to create art, to dance, to play, to be at one with the joyful creative energy that dwells within you, beloved. Wow. So, yeah, again, tapping into that playfulness, dancing with the flow of life, letting the flow guide you, letting your heart guide you.
I was just saying that today too, or yesterday. I was like, I just want to go dance.
Yeah, did last night. Yeah. Yeah. Like a child who thinks not of the right steps, but just moves with music and with joy. She reminds you to dance freely and from your heart. Yeah.
Lovely.
Hi, Myrna.
Hi, Myrna.
I love this card too. It's really beautiful. Oh, that's awesome. It says, Star Child, Earth Angel, Divine Creature. Your star mother keeps an eye on all the wild games happening in the sacred playground of the earth. She will care for you, righteous and true, shining divine justice and protection. No bully shall prevail over you. No bully from within you shall prevail either. No lies, deceit, or injustice shall temper your wild truths. Be demanding in claiming her love for you. Learn how to love yourself as she loves you, with wild, unconditional, passionate regard. Be like the child wailing for its mother. Ma, 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 come close. And then she descends. Like a torrential downpour of devotional light, a tsunami of affection is unleashed. A rampaging cosmic tigress hurtles toward you, her claws gripping the fabric of the skies as she rushes to protect her beloved cub. She will fight for you against the forces that will dull you and dumb you down, obscure your brilliance, and stultify your free-form dance into strict choreographed movements. She will pour her luminous essence into every crevice of your demanding soul, and nothing can resist her light. All shall be washed and revived in the outpouring of her luminous love. And then, sated and content, you are the child so secure in the love of the mother, you trust in life implicitly, and it is and in what is brought to your door. You do not succumb to untruths. You do not resist because you are safe and held in the love of the mother. You have no need to resist. There is only the loving truth in your world, and all is at peace in your heart. And okay, so the next part is really important.
Okay.
And should there be cause to stand up and fight for love, for freedom, for light, for her truths of unconditional life, respected and honored, well, you shall be particularly equipped for success. When there is that war to fight, you shall be the warrior who defends the motherland, absolute in your devotion to her ways, and empowered through her vast, I don't know what that word is. Indefatigable,
All right.
triumphant power. And you shall bludgeon your way with brute force and fear? Of course not. So here is your guidance. Lay down your old weapons, for new technology awaits you. It is the most magnificent of forces, that of divine alignment and of surrender to the Star Mother and her way of luminous potency. From her great vantage point, the vastest problems of our earthly mind sense are merely in need of quick whipping by the tail of a comet. And this she easily achieves by flicking a strand of her hair or poking out her tongue. Wow. That's really beautiful. And again, it's, trusting in the divine feminine, trusting, calling on the mother energy and letting her be our guide.
Yeah.
Yeah. Beautiful.
Yes, Myrna. Lots of powerful energies coming in. Which is why I'm probably not sleeping either. So that's another topic. We got JD who would like number 11, and also after my pal Renee would like a card. She needs some guidance too.
JD, I really want to know the dancing story now.
We should invite JD to come on and talk.
Yeah, I wish we could add him. Let's see, what does JD need? Oh, that's popped out. Ancestors.
Hey, that means you too. Ancestors.
And transmute.
Okay.
Transmuting for the ancestors, Jay. And asking them to help you. Yeah, I feel like you are deeply connected to your ancestors. Like there's this really strong
Egyptian feel.
Yeah, Egyptian, just like native, like this raw native energy feeling. Egyptian too.
Well, the native stuff is also something that I saw in your past life too, like where your family was all in there. I remember Autumn was there, and Bonnie, like, was JD there? He must have been, like, and Bev was there, like.
Yeah, because wasn't that the one where they burned us together?
I don't know. That was something else. It could be. No, this one, like, everyone got shot. But it was native, and I remember just, like, your family being there. Like, I remember recognizing them. I think Autumn was a horse or something. Like,
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's this really raw native energy that comes through for JD. And also this connection to Egypt. And so
I feel him as like a tall being, like as I'm like sensing his energy, like a tall being with like the big heads, kind of like Akhenaten type thing.
Yeah. And so this card is encouraging you, Jay, to deepen your relationship with your ancestors and bring whatever you want guidance onto them. If you have not already done so, making an altar just to your ancestors is a good way to begin. You can ask them what they want as offerings and put pictures, if you have them, or symbols of them on it as well. It may be a good idea to take a pilgrimage, if possible, to the places they once lived. If not, learn as much as you can about them and where they come from. You may ask them if there is any healing that you can do for them. It is important to honor our ancestors and where we come from. Do so however you can. This card may also be a signal that you need to tend to your ancestral trauma. We can inherit the suffering of those in our lineage, which we know we have. There's a lot of suffering that we've inherited through our ancestry. And this is an opportunity for you to remove blocks within yourself, but also to release your ancestors from the trauma as well. And I'm feeling this really strong pull for you to have a BQH session so you can look deeper at those things and release like a whole lot, really understand and release a whole lot of trauma at one time. And clear that from the cellular memory of your body. Like I feel like it's wanting to clear. I feel like you've cleared.
There's a lot of stuff that needs to get out so you could make more space to come into your full true self.
Yeah. Bringing that truest expression of yourself in. Yeah. It is important, it says, it is important to remain sovereign and independent when holding counsel. Understand that working with your ancestors is different than working with other guides or allies. They will have their own opinions about you and your life. You may need to use discretion. Yeah. You need to have a session. We've been saying this for like 2 years now.
Yeah.
And transmute. So yeah, it's like transmuting all that old trauma. Again, there's the scarab. There's the Egyptian energy. There's definitely
and
a
the
life.
eye.
And the eye. Yeah, check that out, Jay. There's the eye.
Looking at you.
Saying, come have a session. Yeah, how wild is that? Let's see. 44 air card. Yeah. Within you lies the ability to take dense energy and turn it into a lighter and higher vibration. You can do this in response to constricting situations, difficult relationships, or blockages within your internal landscape. Sometimes we do not need to consciously work at the issue, but simply have the intention of doing so. So it's calling you into a rebirth. This will be like a rebirth for you. This alchemy of transmutation and transmuting these dense energies of this ancestral trauma into something, into a lighter and higher vibration. It's saying you can call on and work with the energy of the scarab and Moldavite to assist you in doing this. Moldavite is I mean, I don't know what to call it. It's like, it says it was formed, the strongest theory is that it came from the impact of a giant meteor about 14.7 million years ago. And there's a lot of mystery surrounding it. Some people say there's earth energy in it and energy from outer space, so they're like combined. But it brings about quick transformation. So you can call on the energy of Moldavite to assist you in transmuting the ancestral trauma.
He says it's ready tomorrow. I want to go too, Jay.
I was just thinking, I don't know where that was, but JD, I was just remembering like how connected we are that we saw in our old sessions about how we had like those 500 chords between us and how I was like picking up on like things that were going on in his reality were like coming into my reality. Remember that session? That was really wild. And I was just remembering that yesterday. So I'm not surprised that you say we were just talking about the exact same things. Yeah.
Healthy chords.
Healthy chords, yeah. Those other ones were not healthy.
No.
You just got Moldavite yesterday? Wow, that's so wild. I love that.
Where does it say that? I didn't get that message. Oh, there.
JD.
I need Moldavite. Okay. Renee would like deck number 3.
Deck number 3.
Where can I get Moldavite?
I just ordered some yesterday too, actually. Isn't that wild? I'll send you the link.
Okay.
Currently, Kuan Yin. Didn't she pick Kuan Yin last time? Kuan Yin is number 3.
Yeah, Renee needs to get back into her divine feminine. She would like her intention for this would be some kind of what did she say? Hold on, let me check this out. Life-altering decisions, and would like to have some assistance, guidance. Sure.
Life-altering decisions.
We got you, girl. The right one will come.
Feels like a lot of pressure.
Yeah. Whatever it is, it's always going to be what you need today. That's all. So just take that for what it is. So whatever that message is. Because sometimes we need to make decisions, but we don't. It's not always going to come. It's going to come when it's ready to come. When you're ready to align with it.
Yeah, and wasn't her poll last time about decisions? Making decisions?
I don't recall. We pulled for so many people. I don't know.
Our last video, I think Renee's was about decisions. Yeah, I think she should go back and watch that one too. Because it might not have meant anything to her at this time, but it might mean something now.
You don't need coffee, Jay. You need to send your fabulous sister over here some Moldavite. I'll give you my address.
So, number 25, the Sacred River Yahtzee. Kuan Yin deck. Kuan Yin, again, look, there's her halo. See it, Karen?
Oh, like me. Yeah. See that, everybody?
Yeah, very divine feminine. Let's see what she says. So again, connecting in with your own GPS, your own guidance system, and seeing what feels right to you, to stop overthinking.
Oh yeah, I remember this. Yes, Renee's a thinker. Like I tapped into her, I remember, and I was just getting all these like as if you have a box of thoughts and it's just reversing and just falling out. So there's just so many things that are coming out. I feel like that overwhelm in her.
Yeah.
Like needing, and then that urgency of needing to know what to do. So there's a control thing here, Renee. It's a letting go and removing all those pieces out of the way so that you can create the reality that you're seeking, even though it may not be a clear picture of what you're seeking, but the right one will come when you can surrender and not connect or attach to any of these thoughts that are impeding your creation. Flow? Yeah, your flow and your creation. So yeah, stop thinking, Renee. I mean, like, don't get so attached to what you're thinking and needing to know, because things are not happening right now. things are happening, but they're not, it's not in a place where, um, I don't know. I find that there's still time for you to come into this place because like you're going to be so scattered that when you're going to need to show up for yourself, it's going to be too overwhelming. So now is a time where you can just let the flow happen, push everything to the side and just be here now because this is where it's most important. It's right now. So I feel like that is going to come. So if you could just breathe into that energy, everything will just come into you naturally. Like, does it feel right or not? It's either yes or no. And that's how it's going to be. If you hesitate, no. So if you're thinking about it, it's usually you have to come in and feel it in your heart. That's the most important thing.
Mm-hmm.
Be able to use that GPS system, like Tina was saying in the card that we picked before. I feel this is where we're all at. Like being able to get all our information and using it and being able to bring it into life, like bring that into reality instead of just holding all our knowledge and being informative and whatnot, but now taking it and creating it in the physical world. So yeah.
Yeah, perfect. And yeah, using that, balancing the energy between the mind and heart, because so often we're all heady, right? It's all the thoughts, but tapping more into the heart and not being so attached to the outcome, but knowing what you want. Knowing what you want, so focusing on that, but not needing to know all the steps on how you're going to get there. Like releasing that and trusting that you will make the right decision and letting it go and watching how it unfolds, how everything will come back to you when you're in that flow and you're centered with your divine feminine knowing, like we talked about earlier. So yeah, that's perfect. So what this card is saying is the river, the sacred river, eternally flows and changes. And just as the river flows and changes course, you too are evolving in your own divine path. Veils and sheaths that once covered your soul light are being washed away. Cleansing by sacred water specifically indicates that your emotional life and your life direction are being purified and healed. Changes in the flow of energy within you and in the momentum of your life path unfolding are imminent. This is exciting. You are growing and changing, and soon your life circumstances will reflect your inner evolution. So, it says, the sacred river in which beloved Kuan Yin delights is always changing course, flowing and growing. You, like the sacred river, are changing too, beloved. Your life direction is going through subtle realignments or even in the midst of a far more obvious change. You are encouraged to trust in the natural unfoldment of this process and to allow it to work its way through you and your life.
Yes, because the more that you want to have control, it's not gonna, you're gonna be drowning. So it's just like allowing that flow, the river, to take you where you need to go and not, because the more you fight it, the easier you're gonna drown. So it's just like let the water take you to where you need to go and trusting in that. And you don't have to know now. Just hold that vision of where you want to go, what you want to see. So for me, it's just like holding on to that idea that we are going to get to a place of freedom. We're going to get to a place where everybody is free from this prison hell. But it's just like how we're going to get there. We have to just allow the now to take hold. And if the now recall like requires us to stand up and do it, then that is what the now is going to require us to do. So it's just like allowing it to be without having to control any of it. We really don't have any control over any of it. We really just have to set that intention and go, because then, if you could think of something that you've always ever wanted and set that intention out there and how effortlessly it came to you, that's exactly what it's going to be like. Things are just going to fall onto your lap like effortlessly. And that's exactly what's going to happen. So if you feel like you're finding all these kinds of roadblocks and you're like, is it for me or is it not? Sometimes there are just going to be things that are going to be put in the way that's really the universe saying like, no, it's not for you. Don't do this. Like, let it go. This is not where you want to go. So, you're going to see signs. Pay attention to the signs. And again, go back to how it feels in yourself, your intuition. You have that mommy instinct. I know you're a fierce mama, so you have that instinct. Feel it. That's how you know.
Yeah. Perfect. So why don't we do this this healing?
Okay.
Okay. So imagining now that you are standing near a beautiful river composed of light and sound. And just taking a deep breath and settling into the body. And you're standing next to this river now. And this river is composed of light and sound. And it's shining and sparkling, shimmering with love and peace and beauty. Whatever you imagine is right, there is no wrong, however it comes to you. And you just want to be near this river so badly because it feels so good to you. Imagine now stepping into the river and allowing the rainbows of light and sound to wash through you, cleansing you inside and out, removing away all of those thought forms, bringing you back to center. Releasing all that no longer serves you. Just being here now. And allow those rainbows to wash away all negativity and debris. The water is clean and pure, filled with ancient power and majesty. You can breathe in this peaceful, calm, cleansing feeling. And as you step out of the river now, you notice that you are now clothed in a new fresh robe of silk, whatever color feels right for you. And you can open your eyes when you are complete. That was lovely. What color was your robe?
Just blue. I look like a boxer. Of course.
Okay, prayer at the river. So we're still standing on the side of the river. And we have divine ancient ruler of the Yang. Receive, just repeat after. I receive the spiritual water.
I receive spiritual waters.
Of your cleansing and illumination now.
Hold on, you're cutting out. Where are you?
Do you hear me?
Yeah, now I do.
Of your cleansing
Of
and
your,
illumination now.
your cleansing and illumination now.
Bless my path and my process.
Bless my path and my process.
With your
Okay. Are you looking at me like that?
with your mercy and potency.
With your mercy and potency.
May I reveal and realize myself.
May I reveal and realize myself.
In a new way now.
In a new way now.
Without fear or attachment to the past.
Without fear or attachment to the past.
May I allow the sacred river.
May I allow the sacred river.
To chart my course.
To chart my course.
Carving out my highest.
Carving out my highest.
Divine destiny.
Divine destiny.
And path now.
And path now.
Of my own free will, so be it.
My own free will, so be it.
Om Mani Padme Hum.
Om Mani Padme Hum.
I hope you resonated with that and that was helpful for you, Renee. You can call on Kuan Yin and ask her to guide you.
Yeah.
She is there with you anyway.
The world is so chaotic, so it's like we feel like we need to do something. There's this urgency to do something. And especially with all the information that we have and that we know that we so badly want to share with everybody else so that they can wake the hell up. It's like also a balance and understanding that you can do so much with that. You can only plant seeds. You can only help people to as far as they want to be helped, as far as they would like to do something about it. Because again, we're working with a lot of people that are deeply programmed and are unable to take action. They don't know how. They honestly don't know how. So it's a scary time. You know, we live in a place where everybody is looking for that savior to save them. And for people like us, you know, you, Renee, especially, like, I feel that in you, that conviction where you want to get everybody to stand the hell up and fight. Like, you are a warrior woman. Like, that's how I see you. Like, you just want to go into battle and just fight it to the death, because you can see how hard it is to see all of our people, especially here in Canada, being completely divided, fighting each other in that divide, and also not being empowered enough to stand up for our rights. So I see you, and I really honor that in you. Like, that, I love that about you, that strength. And I appreciate everything that you're trying to educate us in, especially with our constitution and our rights to stand up. And because everything that's happening to us here in Canada is completely horrendous, disgusting, and illegal. So I know there's that urgency to get out. I want to get out too, but you know, like, I'm stuck here.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Did somebody else want a card? Or was that it?
Let's pull one more for the collective, and while we're waiting, if anyone else.
Did someone else? Was that Myrna? I thought you said Myrna. Okay. Pick a number.
I like number 6.
Oh, Rumi again.
Oh, of course, romance. I love romance. I'll show everybody like my little pretty thing here. Like my pretty desk decoration.
Ooh. Beyond death, life.
There it is. It reminds me of that show we watched yesterday.
I'll pull a card for you, Myrna. Yeah, I couldn't tell if you had asked for one. What show?
The show we watched yesterday. Cheating death or taking their chances to the center. Myrna, if you could pick between 1 and 12 while Tina's looking through the card.
Yeah, so this card is really about death of your old life.
Oh, see, authentic self. This is what we were talking about before.
Yeah.
So 360.
Yeah, 360. Death of your old life.
I think that's what people need, is that the world right now, the program, people need to see that people are becoming themselves, like they are themselves, that they don't have to go through that facade of what success looks like, or those expectations of what you're supposed to be and act like. You know,
Right.
It's just be you, no matter what
Right.
that is, quirky or not. It's just like, don't apologize for who that is. I mean,
Yeah.
you're a unique expression of God, and it's like, be that. That's more than enough.
Right. And like finding your passion. Like, what are you passionate about? Like, not just following like what society, your parents, your church, your state has set out for you as the plan, the blueprint for your life, but asking yourself the questions like, what are you passionate about? What makes you joyful? What brings you bliss? And aligning with that, honoring yourself, falling in line with your authentic self, with your own divinity, and figuring out who you are through self-gnosis, right? Knowing who you are. That's the best thing we can do for ourselves. It's knowing who we are. So I'll just read this poem. Beyond death, life. Footprints lead to the shore of the sea. Beyond that point, no trace remains for me. I am calling to you. Can you hear me? Listen. Within your heart, there I speak. My voice rings true. You are urged beyond what has been. The time has come. Lay it to rest now. This ending comes as grace to free you from all that you have known. For what you have known is now too small for your soul. Bear your uncertainty with equanimity. I am certain enough for both of us. Allow me to show you the light that you are, that burns within you, blazing angel of heavenly purity. I will unveil you to yourself, undressing your ego, casting aside its layers, as tender as a lover, with unwavering attention upon the sacred body of light. You shall know yourself in truth, as pure beyond all experience, untainted, ever innocent, as a pure vessel stripped bare, ready for the divine revelation, as light, as life, as love.
Okay. Oh God. Okay.
Love it.
I love that.
Oh, you felt the white buffalo woman this evening? I have, well,
She said
I
7, yeah.
I have the spirit animal deck, which feels very
Yeah, do spirit
native-y.
animal.
Do you want a spirit animal card, Myrna? Or I have a deck. The Divine Feminine deck has the white buffalo woman in it. Or Sacred Rebels can be a little bit native, earthy. Feels very earthy to me.
What's number 7?
Should we do what deck? Number 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 6, 7. 7's roomy again. Yes. I'm not sure what that is a yes to.
Oh, maybe
Sacred
the
Rebel?
animal or the animal.
Animal or Sacred Rebel?
I don't know. Pick one of each.
Okay.
Do one Sacred Rebel and one animal.
Okay. This is the Spirit Animal Oracle.
It's a cute deck.
It's really cute. I love this deck. Okay. Ooh. That wanted to come right out. Do one more. So 23 again. It's the third time tonight.
23.
Yeah.
Wow, what's that mean? 555. That's like my favorite number ever.
Yeah, that's change. 5s are change.
Oh. I guess I have to go out and play now, people.
So 23 is the eagle spirit. Spirit has your back.
Spirit has your back. Amen.
Yeah.
Wow, lots of change here, guys. Feeling that energy flowing in, creating whatever timeline you feel is your timeline.
Uh-huh. And then also what came out with that is 53, the seahorse spirit, watch and wait.
Oh.
So again, it feels like that energy of knowing that the spirit has your back, right? And then having your goal set and your intention, and then just releasing how it's going to happen and going with the flow of how it's going to unfold. So yeah, eagle spirit.
That's cool.
Oh my gosh, she said she saw an eagle so close I could almost touch it.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
That's so cool.
That's so cool. Well, let's see what the eagle's message is for you. So it says, think of the eagles flying high above the other birds, soaring on the wind. Eagle spirit has appeared to ask whether you're willing to soar to new heights, even if that means solitude for a short while. Truly, all the wisdom of the world is available to you. When storms flash across the sky, it is eagle spirit that raises you above it all, helping you conquer fear and overcome adversity, reminding you that spirit has your back and wants you to experience life at its fullest. At this moment, you are meant to know that you have the highest of wisdom and courage within, gifted to you by spirit and all the angels. Boldly build your nest in a lofty space, and know now that you can fly effortlessly, proudly embodying eagle spirit in all her glory and grace, claiming what is truly yours in divine timing. Wow, that gave me chills. That's amazing. So again, it's like claiming what is yours, and then like this watch and wait energy too from the seahorse. So it's like just having that knowing that it's going to be yours. It's a pretty cool combo. Yeah, and the eagle feels like super regal too. He has his crown on. He's not worried about anything, right? He's like, I got this.
That's something we'd find at Cat and Cats. Isn't
it? So yeah, how the seahorse is observing. The seahorse is observing with the perspective of one who is not engulfed by the drama, remaining at a distance from all the turbulence. The seahorse spirit appears at this time to remind you of the need to be neutral and gain perspective. Not my circus, not my monkeys.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Not my circus, not my monkeys.
Another message here is that whatever your query, Seahorse asks you to step back from it and be willing to explore things from different angles rather than just a single one, and observe what is possible. From the perspective of the position of the neutral observer, you will discover a myriad of opportunities and a deeper understanding of what you seek and why. You will know beauty, truth, love, and wisdom.
Lovely.
Beautiful. Yeah, eagle eye vision. Yeah. Yeah. That's really beautiful. Yeah, soaring above it all and observing. Just being that neutral observer. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Beautiful energies.
Mm-hmm. I find it's all coming together for everything. Really, that's just really the lesson in life itself. It's like you don't have to do anything to be productive or do, you could just be here. If that's all that requires of you right now, be here. We don't have to make any sudden moves or changes. Yeah, keep your eye on where you need to go without having to control too much about the outcome.
Yeah, surrender to the river.
Yeah, and spirit has your back. Spirit will lead the way.
Yeah, allowing spirit to lead the way. Absolutely. Okay, should we pull one more?
One more and then let's go because it's already been 2 hours. Okay. It always goes so fast.
It does. It feels really fast. Okay. Well, I feel like, yeah, no one really talks for the first hour.
No, it's just us talking.
Yes, spirit's got your back. We're gonna, for sure. And last message, being enough. The innermost heart says, you are enough. Nowhere to go, nothing to get, nothing to change.
I just heard the guides tell me they're like, you don't have to go out if you don't want to. You're enough already. That's what they're like saying. They're just like, don't beat yourself up for like having to do something that you don't want to do. But if you feel called to do it, do it. Because it's like, it's worse to have that guilt.
Right. Yeah, you are enough. Nowhere to go, nothing to get, nothing to change. No need to grow more deserving. You, yes, you are love. Simple. You are enough. Just as you are.
You are enough just as you are. I think that's a big lesson, everybody. It's like, do you know that you are enough? Do you have that need to overcompensate or overperform or be something that you aren't? Can you accept yourself for who you are in this now moment?
Yeah. And recognizing our wholeness, you know,
Yeah.
like really recognizing and understand that we're always whole. Always whole.
Yeah. You got to be okay with that at the end of the day. If today is your last day to be alive, are you going to be okay with the person that you are right now? And I didn't do fuck all today, so I'm feel great. I celebrate that. And I celebrate you, whatever you're doing and whatever struggles you're going through. It's hard, but it's temporary, and we're all in the same crazy boat together. So even if I'm having a great day and you're not, I had a great day for all of us today. And when I have a shit day, you'll have a great day for me too. So I find there's a lot of that comfort in that. And it's okay. Because, I mean, if we all had shit days, then I think we would be in a far worse position. I think that's what's beautiful about the world that we live in, is that we're not always going to be on the same spectrum. There's always going to be some kind of balance there. I think that's how organic we are, is that we're always going to find some sort of balance. And I find there's like some sort of like peace in that, at least. You know, I could go to bed knowing that we're going to be all right.
Way to bring it home.
So awkward. All right. I love you guys. Thank you for the 400 subscribers and the likes and the comments, and for being here and showing up for us and with us and listening to us talk about our real lives and yeah, being with us through it. We appreciate your love and support. And we're going to keep coming and showing up, because that's what we do. We've done a lot of work to show up, because we want people to show up too, you know, for themselves.
Right. Yeah. And that's part of our inspiration for even having this platform, is to say, like, if we can do it, so can you. You know, like.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be perfect. I mean, like, how many videos do we have? This is like our 100. I don't know how many videos we have, but we've been doing this for a little over almost, what, a year and a half? I don't even know. Less?
About a year and a half. Less. Yeah.
Less.
No, about a year and a half.
Right. And it's never going to be what it's going to look like. You're always going to have to, I feel like you don't need to have to wait to do anything because it's not perfect. Like, I just got a ring light yesterday. I just put this up yesterday. Like,
right. I was filming videos in my kitchen, like on my counter when I started.
Yeah,
like,
that was a good light over there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It works.
I film.
Whatever works, right? Yeah, we get caught up in this need for perfectionism. Like, we have to have the right lighting and the right equipment and the right this and right. I didn't have anything. I had my cell phone and my kitchen light. Like, that was
and hopefully the battery will work the whole time. Like, ooh.
Yeah. Yeah. And you just start somewhere, you know, you just start. That's the most important thing, is just to start, and then allow yourself that room to grow. You know, you don't have to have everything, because then what do you have to expand into? You know, if you have everything when you start, like, just, you don't have to have it all. You don't have to be perfect. You just have to start. And that's it. Like, people that you don't want people that are resonating with perfect anyway, because then that's something real. You have, it's not real. You have to live up to that. And, you know, yeah.
Yeah, at least for us, like, we started out super awkward, and now it's just like a little more comfortable awkward.
Still awkward.
Yeah. Thanks, Myrna.
Thanks, Myrna. We appreciate you. We really, really appreciate you. Thank you so much for being here, for chatting, for hanging out with us, for all your love. We appreciate every single one of you guys. Yeah. So thanks for hanging out with us. And we'll see you next time. Love you guys. Bye.